What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome to the ocean of love. I'm drowning, you should be too, and today, hopefully I'm gonna help you understand yourself enough to the point of beating your low self-esteem, gaining confidence, and finally getting past that anxiety programming forever.
And here we are, the granddaddy of all quantum weirdness, the infamous double-slit experiment. To understand this experiment, we first need to see how particles, or little balls of matter, act. If we randomly shoot a small object, say a marble, at the screen, we see a pattern on the back wall where they went through the slit and hit. Now, if we add a second slit, we would expect to see a second band duplicated to the right. Now, let's look at waves. The waves hit the slit and radiate out, striking the back wall with the most intensity directly in line with the slit. The line of brightness on the back screen shows that intensity. This is similar to the line the marbles make. But when we add the second slit, something different happens. If the top of one wave meets the bottom of another wave, they cancel each other out. So now there is an interference pattern on the back wall. Places where the two tops meet are the highest intensity, the bright lines, and where they cancel, there is nothing. So, when we throw things, that is, matter, through two slits, we get this, two bands of hits. And with waves, we get an interference pattern of many bands. Good so far. Now, let's go quantum. An electron is a tiny, tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, a single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marbles, two bands. What? An interference pattern! We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter through. We get a pattern like waves, not like little marbles. How? How could pieces of matter create an interference pattern like a wave? It doesn't make sense. But physicists are clever. They thought, maybe those little balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So, they decide to shoot electrons through one at a time. There is no way they could interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern is seen to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it's even stranger. It goes through both slits, and it goes through neither. And it goes through just one, and it goes through just the other. All of these possibilities are in superposition with each other. But physicists were completely baffled by this. So they decided to peek and see which slit it actually goes through. They put a measuring device by one slit to see which one it went through and let it fly. But the quantum world is far more mysterious than they could have imagined. When they observed, the electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of two bands, not an interference pattern of many. The very act of measuring or observing which slit it went through meant it only went through one, not both. The electron decided to act differently, as though it was aware it was being watched.
So science, mainstream science, every science, always tells us that everything is made up of atoms. And these atoms are tiny particles that are mostly made up of empty space, they tell you. And if you go down even further, these atoms are made completely of just energy, vibrating in and out of existence, kind of. You know, they're vibrating at such a pace that they create form. They're vibrating so fast that they appear still. So you're constantly vibrating in and out of existence thousands of times a second, which creates the illusion of form. So how does this reality make any sense at all? It doesn't really make any sense from that kind of point of view. So now I'm going to explain the strength of our beliefs.
The case of Vittorio Miceli. In 1962, he was admitted to the military hospital of Verona, Italy, with a large tumor on his left hip. The doctors knew that they could not help him, so his case was deemed hopeless, and he was sent home without treatment, and after about 10 months, his left hip bone had completely disintegrated. As a last resort, he traveled to Lourdes, France, and bathed himself in a spring there, which is a Christian holy site, famous for producing miracles. Immediately, he started feeling better, he regained his appetite, and bathed himself in the spring a few more times before he left. After a few months of being home, he felt such a powerful sense of well-being that he urged the doctors to x-ray him again, and they were astonished to find that his tumor had shrunk. Over the next several months, they kept a close watch on him, and his x-rays showed that his tumor kept on shrinking until it was completely gone. And once his tumor disappeared, his hip bone started regenerating. After 2 months, he was walking again, and several years later, his hip bone had completely regenerated. The Vatican's Medical Commission, in their official report, made the following statement: "A remarkable reconstruction of the iliac bone and cavity has taken place. The X-rays made in 1964, 1965, 1968, and 1969 confirm categorically and without a doubt that an unforeseen and even overwhelming bone reconstruction has taken place of a type unknown in the annals of world medicine."
But his beliefs were so strong, and he believed so certainly that he was going to heal from this without a shadow of a doubt, that he did. How does this make sense? Well, from a logical point of view, it kind of doesn't. It kind of doesn't make sense, especially from a logical point of view. So what does this tell you about your mind? It tells us that our beliefs are just stories that we tell ourselves over and over again, constantly, every moment of every day. Consider yourself a depressed person. You tell yourself these depressing stories over and over again, bringing yourself back to past moments that bring back this strong feeling of being sad, life being depressing, constantly suffering. And because these stories are on replay, imagine them as a fan. When this fan gets going in a specific direction, you can't just go bam, stop that fan, and flip it the other way. You see, it gets momentum. You know that when you flip the light switch off, it slows down very slowly. That's how our thoughts and belief systems work. We have to slowly but surely throw our own positivity in there enough times to the point where they become more potent than the negative ones. This is what helped me. I'm not saying this is complete fact. This might not work for you. But I'm telling you, your beliefs create everything. Your beliefs determine everything about yourself. Whether or not you're confident, whether or not you're shy. You see, the way that I got past my social anxiety, which I had severely 2 years ago, I watched this guy, Infinite Waters, and he kind of explained to me how the way that he got past his social anxiety that he had was to imagine, okay, what if I didn't have this social anxiety? How would I go and behave to other people? How would I express myself? That's how I get myself prepared for these videos. I imagine I come up to these videos, and if I'm nervous, I'm like, okay. How would I do this video if I had been doing this for 10 years already? I put myself in the mindset that I have already been doing this for 10 years. And then I say, what's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome to the ocean of love. I'm drowning, you should be too. And today, that's how I start my videos. If I'm ever nervous, I put myself in the position of already having what I desire. You see, it's already inside of you. That hope, that happiness, that love, the lack of depression, the lack of anxiety, it's already within you. You just kind of have to pretend like it's already there. You have to pretend like you are already in that state of mind to reach that state of mind. You'll never meet someone who wants to reach an enlightened state of being, who is enlightened, and who will say, I want to be enlightened. I wish I was. I'm not. You have to act as if you already are. Believe that you already are, and it will come to you. The law of attraction. You can't sit here and pray to the universe wishing for something constantly and expect it back. Instead, act as if you already have it. Now, this might not work exactly with material things such as money. You can't just go around and be like, okay, I want a lot of money. I already have a lot of money. I'm gonna go to the store and buy a bunch of stuff. You don't have money to do that with. But you can do that to put yourself in the mindset to go and manifest that money into your life. And one thing I left out of that meditation video on accident, which I was completely unaware of because I went to sleep again, and I just woke up for a third time, went through another consciousness shift, and I'm back again with even more knowledge, and it's all even more hammered into my head even harder than it ever was. Is that meditation isn't just about focusing on your breath and letting go. People will often be in loud places like this lawnmower bullshit going on behind me. They'll be sitting there like, this is so distracting. Actually, in reality, meditation is about bringing yourself back into your five senses, focusing on what you hear, what you see with your eyes closed, what you feel in every inch of your body. And if you sit there and breathe and try to bring the awareness into every inch of your body, and then once you do that, bring all of the awareness into everything that you hear, and then after that, bring all of the awareness into what you see, and then after that, bring all of the awareness into what you feel, then you are truly connected with your body. That is what anxiety does to us. It pulls us out of our body and into our mind. Keeps us in there. We're not even conscious of what's going on in our body because everything up here is so much more chaotic and the attention is pointed so much towards what's going on up here that all of your attention isn't even in this place anymore. You're not even focused on the external world nor your internal body. You're focused on that loud chaos inside you. I'm gonna hold the microphone now so that the lawnmower guy back there doesn't disturb the video too much. So that's how I got past my confidence problem that I had. I kind of just pretended as if I was already confident. You can practice this alone, talk to yourself, imagine conversations with people and imagine how you would respond to certain questions in a creative, confident way instead of questioning, can I do this all the time? Asking those questions proves that you are not being able to do it. One of my favorite quotes ever in existence is from Peter Pan. The moment that you doubt whether or not you can fly is the moment you cease to ever do it. Same goes with confidence. Same goes with happiness. Same goes with the ability to manifest financial security into your life. So in reality, the key to getting past that low self-esteem, to getting past that low confidence level, is to pretend like it's never even been there. Because you tell yourself over and over again, I can't do this. I'm not confident. And because that's like a mantra, that's like an affirmation in your head. Affirmations and mantras are statements that you repeat over and over again, either verbally or mentally. That's what a belief is. A belief is just something you tell yourself over and over again until it becomes reality. Now, anxiety and depression. I'm going to get very delicate here because I don't like it when people get very defensive with it and they're like, no, you don't understand depression. You haven't experienced it, obviously, if you're talking about it as if it's something that I can control, something that I'm not victim to. When in reality, everything that you feel within your body, you have complete domain over. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are not a slave to your thoughts. You are not a slave to your body nor your body's desires. Technically, your body is your slave. People disrespect their bodies in such a way that it feels neglected. You see, eating healthy is a form of self-respect. But many people with anxiety and depression, they're up here all the time. They don't give their body the awareness it desires. They don't sit down and ask their body, what do you want? What do you need? They're always telling their body to do things for them and expecting things in return. You see, it makes absolutely no sense to disrespect your body in any way because it literally keeps you here in this reality. It keeps you on this planet. All your body does is constantly try to heal itself, constantly keep itself alive in order to keep you here. And you're out here throwing junk food, destroying it by cutting yourself, possibly smoking cigarettes, doing all these destructive things to your body, when in reality, your body cares about you far more than you could ever care about your body because all you're doing is disrespecting it. And yet it still decides to keep you alive. Isn't that beautiful? That's very beautiful. That trick I told you about with the meditation, putting your awareness into your body, every inch of your body, your fingernails, your back, your spine, even your booty hole, even your genitalia, the bottom of your feet. Bringing awareness into your body instead of only in your mind. That's why you feel that crazy pressure right here and right here in your chest. Because your body feels disconnected from your awareness. Because it is. And when you feel that way, your heart starts pumping extremely quickly. Because it's like, oh no, I'm about to die. Because when you die, your consciousness, your awareness, it goes on from the body. But when you bring your awareness back into your body, back into the 5 senses that you have, and keep them there for a good amount of time, and you let go of that definition that you have of yourself of being depressed, you let go of that constant story you've been telling yourself your whole life, I'm depressed, I'm sad, life will never get better. Yes, you're true. It's true, it won't. Take physical activities, for example. If you're doing push-ups and you're trying to get to 10 in one go, and you get to 5 and you're like, I can't do this, I have to stop, and you stop, you're completely correct. But if you get to 5 and you're like, oh my God, this is so hard, but I'm gonna do this, I can do this, you will force yourself and you will discipline yourself into doing that. So if you say you can't, and if you say you can, regardless of which decision you choose, you are correct. That's what we need to realize. When you go and express to another human being, and you go and you're feeling anxious and you're feeling depressed, or you feel not confident in yourself, and you go and tell a whole entire other human being, I don't love myself, I'm not confident, that gives your ego more of the reason to keep telling yourself that you're not confident, that you're not self-loving. Because now you have a complete other self, a complete other human being, sitting there believing that you do not love yourself, that you are depressed, that you are anxious. But if you're feeling anxious and depressed, and you go up to a person, and you tell them, I'm extremely happy with who I am, I love my life, I'm so grateful to be who I am, and I'm so happy, and I'm so confident right now. I'm so confident right now. If you do that for yourself, if you express yourself in that way, regardless of how much betrayal it feels, regardless of how untrue it feels in your heart, you gotta remember, it's just your ego not letting go of the stories it's been telling itself constantly. It's like a snowball. You know, the snowball. You make a small snowball, roll it down the hill, it'll accumulate into an even bigger snowball. That's what happens with your thoughts and your beliefs. You do it for long enough that it gains so much momentum and so much mass that the only way to strike it down is to push it uphill. Make it go the opposite way. You're gonna have to force yourself to do it for a little while. You're gonna have to force yourself to pretend like you love yourself for a while before you actually start feeling that way. It's not just gonna happen in an instant one day. Self-discipline is key in life. Many people who have jobs doing things they don't want to do, they will tell you that's life. That's what life is about. Because life really is about making yourself do things you don't think you want to do until you realize the beauty behind them. Until you start loving it. Until you realize it's really not that bad, you just had a preference to your comfort zone. And when you're depressed and you tell yourself over and over every single day, that is your comfort zone. Because you're always there. Regardless if you feel comforted there or not, your comfort zone is where you've always been. So if you've always been in a depressed, anxious state of mind, that's your comfort zone. And that's where your mind will always go back to, constantly. You have to get yourself out of that loop. That's what my MDMA overdose experience put me through. I got myself in such a severe negative thought loop that I was this close to committing suicide every single day that I was going through it. This fucking close. Don't tell me I'm wrong because it happened to me. That's my experience. The way I got myself out of it, just today, it took me this long. Just today I finally realized that I needed to bring my awareness out of my mind and into my body. I thought I needed to expand my awareness beyond my body to get to some higher state of consciousness, when in reality, the only way you can expand your consciousness into higher realms of existence is to get even more in tune in this reality, in this existence. That's how you master living in the moment. Bringing your awareness into your body and asking, what does it need? How can I help you? Bringing your awareness into the world around you, to the point of it all being one sense together. All the five senses merging into one. That's what it feels like whenever you bring your awareness into your body, then into your thoughts, then into your hearing, then into your sight. It feels like all of those senses turn into one sense altogether, and that's the life experience. With that being said, I feel like I covered all the topics that I wanted to cover. I didn't plan this video. I'm gonna stop planning my videos so much because that's what causes me to feel like I'm not capable of doing something, because I'm sitting there trying to predict what I need to say in the future. And so I'm stuck in my head worried about, okay, what do I need to say next? Just bring your awareness into your body, into the now moment, and the information will flow out of you. Everything you need is already within you. You just have to believe it and understand it. Be there for your body, be there for yourself, and your cup will overflow with happiness, love, abundance, gratitude, and forgiveness. And that will pour into other people's cups, regardless if you try to or not. That's what I've realized. Lately in school, I've been walking around trying to tell people specific little tricks to help them navigate their minds, and I've just been kind of forcing it on people like I used to. But I remembered, it's about mastering myself and letting it overflow into other people until they questioned it enough to the point where they come up to me and ask me, hey, what's your secret? I want to feel like that. How did you get that way? I'm tired of feeling like shit. I want to feel amazing like you. How did you do that? Then it's time to express that to them. Thank you for watching. I'm infinitely grateful that you even tuned in at all. And if this helped you, please click that big fat subscribe button and notifications, because all I want to do is help you. If you want a one-on-one session for your specific problems, let me know in the comments down below, and I will give you my Skype. I will give you my phone number so we can FaceTime. I want to connect with you individually I want to help you on this awakening journey of yours. You're not alone, and you don't have to be. We're here together. I love you. Go drown your friends in love. Namaste.